I'm recording here. So I was going to follow up on the stuff from the other day, looking at the same time period. So there had been a question about whether there was anything criminal here, and this also ties in on the suboptimal allocation of resources. So this highlights the communications that were taking place at that time. Where's the timeline? We might have to skip forward. This is how it was actually stolen after I developed it. I'll get back to the big break earlier. That's where he's inducing me to do it. So I'm going to drill in on this a little bit. You'll forgive me, hopefully. Anyway, let's start at, remember I had the maximum day was right there on the 328. I mean, we're going through, I correct him on, on how to do it. And he's saying that is so effing unbelievably badass, blah, blah. They had been thinking about doing a barbecue, and I went up there last summer. It's a great place. The zenith of their marketing was a barbecue in Watonga, which is the county seat of Blaine County, Oklahoma. It's a buzzing metropolis. Well, I shouldn't. There's a lot of good people in Watonga. I shouldn't have said that, actually. That was stupid of me. But there's some good people in Watonga, I'm sure. I just was driving through. Anyway, so I suggested, instead of the barbecue, maybe y'all could use this program instead. That I had been, me and I had been doing this thing on and off for a year. This was version 2. This thing was going off. He was super excited on this day right here. I mean, right there, like we have a bunch of phone calls and stuff right here. That's when he's like giddy about it. Anyway, so I'm thinking we're gonna send it on Monday. That's Friday or Thursday. We're gonna send it on Monday. Anyway, so I'm waiting around on Monday. Nothing. Don't hear from him. Same thing Tuesday, Wednesday. I say, hey, are you doing anything with this data? Well, the day before, he had forgotten to mention that Luke had set up 000 Energy. That was done the day before on Tuesday. That was so. Anyway, so I asked that on the 5th, and then nothing until the 8th. He hollers back. He says, no movement on anything really. This is like a week after just being giddy. It's like you got a brand new Ferrari right here, a brand new Lamborghini, and you're not taking it out for a drive, is what it ends up being. That's an analogy that I'll make here in a second. So that's on the 8th. He hollers back, says, no, nothing really. They're downplaying. They've already sent it out right here, I guarantee. That's something that the postal inspector can refresh y'all's memory on. So then on the 12th, he said, well, we're getting kind of into it because I'm kind of pissed off. It's been 10 days since he was so giddy back here. I said, but he says, I'm not asking you to write code and get paid. I'm asking you to participate if we hit something. I'm thinking how we can get hooked in on something, and I think your ability to bring these names and addresses faster than anyone is how. So it's not like some side thing that, over on the side. It's the thing that's going to make it happen. You see what I'm saying? So that's what he's telling me right there on 412. So then on the 20th, I can verify all this by my GPS location that day. I'm in San Antonio. This is funny. The dog comes in that is soon to be, he's still over there over at Nancy's house, and that is Bandit. Bandit walked through the 4-point, the hotel lobby one morning, or I'm sorry, in the afternoon. Anyway, so that's what happened on that day. But that was irrelevant, actually. But I'm in San Antonio, and I'm going to Sid's office. So Lynn is panicking. Lynn doesn't know that I'm about to walk in this, or he knows I'm about to go into Sid's, and he doesn't know what I'm going to say in there or what's going to be said to me. So he's saying, but he's panicking because he knows that they've already done it. They've already sent them out. Then this is not the first one either. They've been doing it for a year before this, but he thinks he's about to get busted. So he's like panicking, sending me. I'm sensing they need for something. They need you more than you need them. That means, like, I'm the one with the program. He knows it. They need me more than I need them. He says, you need a contract this time. What's this time? I'm not thinking of it at the time when I'm reading this. I'm thinking my friend is still my friend and we're still partners. But he's saying I need a fat one. When is the cameo? I'm going up there in a few, I say. So he says, you need to know something before I need to know something before I go in there. It's urgent, it needs to be addressed before I go. Can I talk? It'll take 5 minutes. So he's wants to get in touch with me before I go in there. Then here's the key right here. This is 38 minutes later, 22 minutes later, 23. 401. This is an about face. I didn't go into Sid's this time. I'm getting Bandit at that time. Like I'm taking in a new dog right there. He's a stray. He walked through the hotel lobby and I said, I'll take that dog right there. And but anyway, that's what's happening. Anyway, so Linda calls back and he says, I think the best idea is to sell the code to run title, which I will contact on your behalf if you want me to. And I believe that right there, contained in that red section right there, you have all the elements of a common law agency. Because he's saying, if I want to, that's my assent. He will do this on my behalf. He's going to be acting on my behalf. That is the perfect case of a principal agent relationship. Common law agent. I think the best idea is to do that. He's going to represent me on my behalf. He's going to be my agent. However, the code needs to be protected via copyright. So let me figure that out first. So he's going to go research real quick, because they're not using it. Apparently, they're not going to need it. So he's going to, do me a favor and go check out the protect my rights. So this blue section is Lynn delving, doing a deep dive into intellectual property law. Okay. So that's what he's doing in the middle of the oil boom, by the way. He's an oil and gas lawyer, but he's going to stop for a second and just go delve into IP law for me, just real quick. Anyway, so that's what, at the end of it, he comes back after this. Let me see, up here on 424. Now this is the result after 3 days later. He goes and researches, does his deep dive. Then on the 24th, he says, I want to go ahead and copyright the actual code as well as a presentation of the program or service that the program performs, because there are trade secrets involved in the process of capturing the names and addresses of mineral owners. I think that he's just stating right there, because there are trade secrets involved. He's acknowledging that there's some trade secret stuff in here. Okay, I'm thinking that I'll reach out to them as your attorney to gauge interest in their purchasing your program. However, there is much work to do, because we cannot just sell them something that they would simply duplicate your program. I need to research copywriting the software and set up an entity that will own the software. Once that is complete, we will need to have a presentation of your program and what it can do that does not reveal how it is done. Be thinking about that presentation if you haven't already. Well, they've been using it already. Like he's saying, these are new things that he's saying. Like after he's got possession of it, he's had possession of it because he's been my partner. Okay, that's how he got access to it. Okay, so we're just waiting there. They're getting some serious hits back in here, by the way. On 5-3, I'm like, are you still waiting? It's been a month and 2 days since he was so giddy back over here. Still waiting on. He's still digging in and learning more about where the stuff is. So that's what, a month after he's giddy. Oh, by the way, here's where the analogy. Well, I'll continue just a little bit. This is what I'm talking about. Why? Oh, okay. So he is trying to get rid of me here. He sent something. He sent something on 513. This is what I'm talking about. Why I call it. he is looking to, he sends stuff like on Friday afternoon, hoping that I'll be somewhere like in a kayak. That's what he does in 2017. But he's just checking a boat right here. Here's the last communication. Below, I see 16 relevant townships. There are 36 sections within each township. That totals 576 sections. I'm seeing an average of $80, 80 mineral owners within each section, more or less. That totals 46,080 mineral owners in the area of interest. I'm going to check with Burl. Burl is the key here. This is the guy that I was talking about. This is the guy that they mailed it through, that the postal inspector can be there to refresh his memory. Burl as the amount to send postcards to all of them, but 40% equals 16,000. So we're going to send $16,000 of mail at 40 cents. A 1% response equals 460 on 10%. We make $100. That's a garbage number. That totals 184,000, which is a pretty good return on 16,000. I just need to figure out where we can come up with 16,000. Okay. So that's been the deal the whole time. Like, I will give you access to this code if you go and you have the connections in there. So you sell it, I'll give you 50%. And you handle, I'll just do the code. You handle the mail, you handle everything other than the code. That was our deal. So he's going to figure out how he can get 16,000. He doesn't say, hey, can you come up with 8,000? He doesn't say that. This is his job, is to go to get the 16,000. I'm kind of pissed because it's taken a month and a half, past the deadline, past when I had it, past when it was all good. So that's the last that I hear from him. And the next day is when, let's just go look at this. Hopefully this is still recording. I'm just going to go sec.gov. Probably already picked it here. There's a long point right there. Let's see which one this is. Looky there. Like, that's, look at that. 519. That's 515. He's gonna, he's going to find out on the 15th. And all of a sudden, look at there. Look at that. Look at, we got Jeffries right there. We'll talk about them in a sec. But so that was, let's see. That's only $525 million. That's something. Jeffries gets 10,508,000. That's within a day. See this company? This is the company I'm talking about. Will and them. This guy right here. They can't tell me that's the guy I'm talking about. That was just one of theirs. They had 3 different offerings, but we can put in. I'm going to put in. Let me do a different one. Let me do it like this. So minerals 2. This company comes out of nowhere. This funny, when this one comes out, it comes out right after Robert Sale represents it. It's all good. That's after I accuse them. See, that's the same month. About 2 weeks before that is when I hollered. I was suspecting something, and Robert Sale came in and gave it his blessing, and implicitly his mother's blessing. That was on 4/13 of. Wait, no, I'm sorry. But I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a year later. That was when the stuff was hitting the fan, when I was when I discovered that they didn't do anything. They started up Long Point 2 then. Anyway, they're both the same thing, and they're both. Let's go over to YouTube. So that's this guy right here. And I'm going to extend this. I'm going to open invitation to Jackson Walker, to Burt Blue, to Long Point, to Lynn, and to anybody that knows about this stuff. Let's, you can see what I'm looking for. That was a valuable piece, huh? Anyway, this one right here. behind the scenes at a large mineral company with Will Cullen, VP of Long Point Minerals. That's the company we're talking about. That's my man right there. That I don't believe that he's the.
Grammarly helps make your writing clear and concise,
Well,
no matter where you are.
when that happens.
Compose a cover letter that stands out,
We're just
thanks
kind
to
of
flawless writing.
This guy right
is
here.
also key. And then you need to research.
This guy right here. This whole thing, this whole video
There's still
is
strong
based
ties,
upon my
recognize
program.
that. And so that's
So
why
anyway,
we really do sort of focus on the relationship side. I mean, a lot of times when folks are interested in selling, what we'll tell people is, look, just sell us half.
Yes.
And, you know, that allows you to take some chips
okay,
off the
that's
table.
Will Cullen. That whole video is something that is of interest. So I'm going to end it right there. Thank you for listening.